All right, happy 21st birthday. The Fellowship of Reason had our first meeting on November the 1st, 1998. I've probably said that 100 times, right? Today we enjoy the beginning of our 22nd year, our 253rd, 253rd meeting, monthly meeting, which we call Forum, a celebration of human achievement. If I understand the will of the Board of Trustees, for the first time, I will become the president of the Fellowship of Reason today. And for those looking, president, I will become president today if I'm lucky. Right. Our first president was Dan Barber, and I don't think I was ever the president in the entire period of time. So I'm honored to be the president of the organization that I founded now 21 years ago. So what might the Fellowship of Reason look forward to in the next 12 months? Now, our lease expires 1 year from now, November the 28th, 2020. So it's possible that our last forum, a celebration of human achievement, might occur in this space on Sunday, November the 1st, 2020, 12 episodes from now. Now, there's a certain symmetry, is there not, the fact that we started on November the 1st, and it's possible that our last meeting in this space will occur on November the 1st. Now, I'm hoping that 3 days after our last meeting, I'll be elected to Congress on November the 3rd, 2020, and so I'll start a whole new chapter of my life in Washington, D.C. I often say that the Fellowship of Reason has been a complete success for me personally. I've had the privilege of living my dream vocation, which is that of university professor. As you know, I'm currently studying ancient Greek. I have closely read James Joyce's Ulysses. I have taught Plato, Aristotle, and Plutarch. I have met with some of the finest people on earth, including everyone in this room, and I have remained friends with most of those people. Those of us who have remained in the Fellowship of Reason can say with confidence that we have never left anyone behind. We have been left behind by others for various reasons, but the Fellowship of Reason has never rejected anyone, though I can remember a few whose voluntary departure was not unwelcome. Now, I'm not speaking to anybody you all would know, so it's nobody that that we know, that you all know readily, that I'm talking about. Whether or not tolerance is a virtue, no one can deny that the Fellowship of Reason is the most tolerant organization in existence today. I remember when I created the Fellowship of Reason that I anticipated that we'd be an organization for everyone in the world. Well, we're not. And it's not because we don't want to be for everyone in the world. It is because not everyone shares our values. For example, only a few people can tolerate reading James Joyce's Ulysses. Only a few people enjoy poetry, sadly. And only a tiny number of people are the least bit interested in studying ancient Greek. As I observed in a previous oratory, the Fellowship of Reason is a university, a community of teachers and scholars, and we've had 4 teachers and scholars today presenting. We should appeal to university-type people, but in general, we do not. Our shortcoming as far as university-type people these days is, I think, that we're not Marxists. The university of today is loaded with Marxists. So what do I mean by Marxist? I mean people who think that they are fundamentally, morally superior to the great masses of people, and that as a consequence of that moral superiority, they are entitled to impose their utopian systems upon the masses. The modern sobriquet deplorables perfectly captures the nose turned up to the sky attitude of modern elites. It is fair to say that I believe the members of the Fellowship of Reason are good people. We are good in the way that most Americans are good people. We are clean, honest, punctual, productive, independent, responsible, kind, tolerant, and generous. We do not think we are morally superior to others. We certainly have no desire to impose our utopian system upon others. Some of us do have a utopian system, but we have no desire to impose it upon others. We, the Fellowship of Reason, have never sought to convert. We have always simply taught. We have always been available to others to seek us out, and we hope when they find us that they find shared values. Like everyone, I think, we value our own values. Valuing our own values is different from despising others who have different values. I am proud of the fact that I like to study ancient Greek. I am proud of the fact that I closely read James Joyce's Ulysses. I am proud of the fact that I enjoyed reading and teaching Plato, Aristotle, and Plutarch. I am proud of the fact that I enjoyed, while it lasted, mid-opera in the theater for a decade. We, the members of the Fellowship of Reason, recognize that others have different values. And that is okay, and it is perfectly normal. So everything I just listed that I like, most other people don't like. That's still okay and perfectly normal. Some people, including Linda, my wife, and me, enjoy country music. I like sushi, anchovies, and Marmite. I'm not a big fan of liver or octopus. Other people have different views. Now, I have to admit that I am suspicious that part of my enjoyment of James Joyce's Ulysses is hubris. Hubris at being a member of a very small, sophisticated club of elites. So I'm not pure, I think. I do not aspire, however, to being a member of that elite that wants to read James Joyce's Finnegan's Wake. So there's some limit to my own hubris. I am proud and deeply grateful to be a citizen of the United States of America. I recently listened to the audiobook of Alexander Hamilton by Ron Chernow, and I am of the opinion, having read that book, that the creation of America was tantamount to a miracle. I think we're losing America, or perhaps America's already been lost. Part of the loss of America is a loss of the love of learning that is at the heart of the Fellowship of Reason. The goal of public education seems to be the creation of uncritical, obedient, politically correct wage slaves and indentured servants via student debt. Aristotle is the founding philosopher of the Fellowship of Reason. Aristotle is the founding philosopher of America, as America was founded. The philosophy of America as founded and the philosophy of the Fellowship of Reason are the same. Reason is the common root. America as founded and the Fellowship of Reason are rooted in a profound respect for human reason, creativity, and achievement. The virtues I claimed for our members are the quintessential American virtues. Americans are, on the whole and for the most part, clean, honest, punctual, productive, independent, responsible, kind, tolerant, and generous. Aristotle taught in the Lyceum, which was a temple in ancient Greece, ancient Athens, dedicated to Athena. His followers were called peripatetics, which comes from the Greek word, almost the same word, meaning given to walking around. Before Aristotle's school, Plato taught in the Academy, which was a grove of trees outside the city of Athens because they couldn't own property, not being, for some reason. Aristotle studied in the Academy for 20 years before he created his own school. These schools are the ancestor of our Fellowship of Reason. America as founded and Fellowship of Reason owe our very existence to Plato and Aristotle. There is good news in this memory. Plato and Aristotle gave rise to America and the Fellowship of Reason after 2 millennia, give or take, of darkness. The idea of America and the idea of the Fellowship of Reason, a profound respect for human reason, creativity, and achievement, can survive dark ages. I claimed earlier in this oratory that the Fellowship of Reason does not convert, but we do educate. And education works best in the young. By the time one reaches the age of 30, there is no changing of minds. Another thing we do is fish. We share information about ourselves in the hope that we can lure other adults of like minds to check us out and to join us if they find a match. We do not need a lot of people to join us. attendance at forum in the 20 to 30 people range would secure our continued existence for the next 21 years. So here is what I would like to do as president of the Fellowship of Reason for the next 12 months, up to and including our possible final meeting in this space on November the 1st, 2020. I propose that we apply our considerable brain power to the education of young people. We need to counteract the public education system. We need to provide energy to oppose their agenda of creating uncritical, obedient, politically correct wage slaves and indentured servants via student debt. The Fellowship of Reason and America need thoughtful, rebellious, courageous, frank and honest, productive entrepreneurs. These are the kinds of children, teens, and young adults that we need to nurture as an organization. So here is my opening proposal, and this is by far not set in stone, and there's other things that we might do, and I hope people will have ideas. I propose that the Fellowship of Reason invite teenagers to read Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged, to write an essay about it, and to present that essay in forum. As a reward, we'll give each reader, writer, and presenter a nice, crisp $100 bill. I suggest that we market this idea to our long-lost members, some of whom have children in this age group, and any other audience that we can reach, and invite those people that we specifically invited to share with others that they might know. My son Alexander is currently reading, and he would be eligible. Susan and Ron's son Ira would be eligible too. So those are two people that I know might participate. I will hand out my proposed letter to the membership now so that everybody can have it and look at it. And perhaps we can discuss it at lunch after forum. Thank you for your attention. I look forward to 12 more successful forums now and between November the 1st, 2020.